All right. My Verizon phone says it's 3 o'clock here, so we're going to commence this meeting of the Tennessee State Board of Equalization. I'm David Lillard, Tennessee State Treasurer and Vice Chair of the Board. And Mr. Pope, would you call the roll, please?
Yes. Mr. Merchant?
Here.
Mr. Fleming?
Here.
Commissioner Terragina?
Here.
Secretary Hargett?
Here.
Ms. Merrick?
Here.
Comptroller Mumpower? Treasurer Lillard?
Here.
Treasurer Lillard, you do have an in-person quorum with 2 members appearing virtually. So we will be doing a roll call vote on our action items.
Okay. All right. We'll go to item number 2, which is public comment. Mr. Pope, would you present this item?
We only had one request for public comment, or I guess one commenter with public requests on 2 agenda items. So he will have 3 minutes per agenda item. At the start of his comments, I will hold up my hand when he has reached 3 minutes. With that, Mr. Scruggs, he's appearing virtually today, so make sure we can hear you and then begin when you are ready.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for letting me address the State Board of Equalization. Many years ago, I had a case before the board. Riley Darnell, the Secretary of State, was the chair. And as I went up to present the case, he said, I want to remind the parties, whoever is the briefest wins. And so I turned around to go back to my chair and he said, I'm just kidding, Mr. Scruggs, but be brief. I will be brief here. What I want to talk to you about is reappraisal cycles and sales ratio studies. Now, I noticed from your agenda that several counties are going to shorter reappraisal cycles. Blunt's going to a 3, Sullivan's going to a 2, and Davidson's going to a 3, which is shorter than the normal 4-year cycle. All I wanted to ask, and of course you don't answer my questions, but it's a matter of addressing you as to what we have a concern about. As you know, I'm with Evans and Petrie, and we represent thousands of Tennessee taxpayers. And so the question is, when you have a 3-year reappraisal cycle, the Division of Property Assessment does not do a sales ratio in the reappraisal year. They do a study, they do sampling, but they do not do a sales ratio study. So I assume then in a 3-year cycle, the second year, they would not again do a sales ratio study because they presume it's still at 100%. I guess in the third year, they would do a sales ratio study. So that's my first comment. Would they do a sales ratio study in the third year? But then the real problem arises with a 2-year. In a 2-year cycle, the first year, the reappraisal year, the DPA does not do a sales ratio study. The second year, DPA, or the presumption is that the ratio is the same as the reappraisal year, which was 100%. So no sales ratio studies done. And then they would reappraise again, and no sales ratio study would be done. And then the next year, no sales ratio study would be done. I'm old enough that I was involved in the federal litigation that was the origin of the sales ratio studies by the state board. And I think this might be problematic. And I would just like to ask y'all to think about that, especially the 2-year situation, because I don't think the federal legislation or litigation contemplated that no sales ratio studies would be conducted in a county. And that will happen, I believe, if I'm understanding this correctly, in the 2-year cycle. So I just wanted to express to you our concerns, and I thank you for listening to me.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Scruggs, for those comments. We'll go to item number 3 here now, which is review of the minutes for March 4, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
I have a motion. Is there a second? Second. Have a second. All right. Let's see. Do we need to call the roll, I guess? All right. Let's call the roll and a motion to approve the minutes for March 4.
Ms. Merchant?
Yeah,
Yes.
we have a motion and a second. Yeah, we have that. Okay, go on ahead.
Mr. Fleming?
Yes.
Commissioner Terragina?
Yes.
Secretary Hargett?
Yes.
Ms. Merrick?
Yes.
Treasurer Lillard?
Yes.
The item passes.
All right. Item is passed. Item number 4 is the next item, review and approval of assessment designation. The item will be presented by Brian Kinsey, Director of the Division of Property Assessments.
My apologies. I don't know if that was a typo. We've had an update. Miss Christina Gregg, Assistant. My apologies for that title. Introduce himself.
All right, Greg, you're recognized.
I'm Christina Gregg. I'm the training coordinator for the Division of Property Assessments. We would like to submit before you today the names of the 8 individuals who have met requirements for the Tennessee Master Assessor. This is the highest certification in the Assessment Certification Education Program, and the DPA asked for the board to recognize their accomplishment and approve these TMA certifications listed.
Okay, with any questions, comments? Of course, the board approves and applauds these individuals for their efforts and their attainments in regard to these designations. So I move to approve the designations. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Pope, would you call the roll on the motion to approve?
Ms. Burchett,
Yes.
Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Mr. Dergano,
Yes.
Secretary Hargett,
Yes.
Treasurer Lillard.
Aye.
Item passes.
All right, that item is adopted. Next item is item 5, review and approval of reappraisal plans and programs. Item to be presented by Brian Kinsey, Director, Division of Property Assessments.
I'll just give Macy Brower, Assistant Director of the Division here to present.
All right,
Afternoon, Chairman Lillard, members of the board. My name is Macy Brower, Assistant Director with the DPA. TCA 67-5-1601 requires each county to prepare a plan of reappraisal for approval by the State Board of Equalization. DPA has provided a memo requesting approval of each county's selected reappraisal cycle and next revaluation year. For the 2025 tax year, 20 counties have completed revaluations. DPA has received reappraisal plans from 17 of those counties, which have been reviewed for content and accuracy. Also in your packet, there are 2 2023 reappraisal counties. They are requesting to amend their current reappraisal plan. Those counties are Blount and Hardeman. Blount was a 2023 reappraisal approved for a 4-year cycle. They are now requesting to move to a 3-year reappraisal cycle. That'll have them revaluing in 2026. Hardeman was also a 23 reappraisal approved for a 5-year cycle. They are now requesting to move to a 4-year reappraisal cycle. That has them revaluing in 2027. All completed plans are filed in the DPA office, and I will answer any questions the board may have.
okay, any questions of the gentleman in regard to the proposals here of the reappraisal plans and programs? Are there any assessors present who wish to comment on these items? Assessor personnel, okay, seeing none. All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right, a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second. Any further comments? Seeing none, Mr. Pope, call the roll on the motion to approve.
Ms. Burchett,
Yes.
Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Commissioner Dergano,
Yes.
Secretary Hargett, Ms. Merritt,
Yes.
Treasurer Lillard.
Aye.
The items are approved.
All right, item 5 is approved. Okay. And item 6 is review and approval of the report of the personal property compliance. Sir.
Rule 6-5-.05 of the State Board of Equalization requires each county to annually submit a plan for tangible personal property audits to the board for approval. DPA has plans this year from all 95 counties that have been reviewed for content and accuracy. The complete plans are filed in the DPA office. The division has provided a memo requesting approval of these plans along with a listing of the 95 counties, the audit method selected, and the number of accounts scheduled for audit. I will answer any questions the board may have.
Okay, any questions? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
I have a second. Further discussion? Seeing none, call the roll on the motion to approve.
Ms. Burchett,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Mr. Dergano,
Yes.
Secretary Hargett, Ms. Merritt,
Yes.
Treasurer Lillard.
Aye.
The plans are approved.
All right, so that item's approved. Item number 7 is next, review and approval of 2024 tax aggregate report. The information on this is on pages 100 through 200 in your notebook. Mhm.
This report is under Tennessee law, the executive secretary, that myself, is required to prepare this annual report. The summary of information regarding assessment in property for Haber County. The Division of Property Assessments, thankfully, compiles this data and creates the report on my behalf. Attached is the report for your review and approval.
Any questions? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the item?
So moved.
All right, so I'll second that. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Pope, call the roll on the motion to approve.
Ms. Burchett?
Yes.
Mr. Fleming?
Yes.
Mr. Gergano?
Yes.
Secretary Hart? Ms. Merritt?
Yes.
Senator Lillard?
Aye.
Report is
All right, item number 7 is approved. And item number 8, review and approval of resolution certifying the 2025 appraisal ratios and review of current value updates, which is found on pages 36 through 40 in the materials.
Mr. Brower will also be presenting this item.
Okay.
TCA 67-5, 1604, and 1605 requires DPA to complete appraisal ratio studies at least every 2 years for all counties in the state. DPA has completed the statutory application for the 38 counties which are appraisal ratio studies for the 2025 tax year. DPA staff reviewed and analyzed sales data to calculate the median ratios for each county. An additional 3 counties were analyzed as part of a current value update, with all 3 counties requiring updates because their overall median appraisal ratios were less than 90% of market value. These counties are Chester, Crockett, and Wayne. The memo in your packet contains the factors required to update them all to current market value. Finally, the appraisal ratios of the 20 reappraisal counties are at 100% and are also included in this report. In the remaining 34 counties, there was no scheduled activity for 2025. The appraisal ratios of these counties remain the same as last year, keeping in compliance with state law and the policy of this board and the DPA. DPA is requesting board approval of the appraisal ratios and CVU update factors contained in the memo of your packet. I will answer any questions the board may have.
Any questions of the gentleman about the item? All right, seeing none, Chair will move approval of the item. Second, any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Pope, call the roll on the motion to approve.
Ms. Burchett?
Yes.
Mr. Fleming?
Yes.
Mr. Gergano?
Yes.
Secretary Hart? Ms. Merritt?
Yes.
Senator Lillard?
Aye. All right, item number 8 is approved. Next item is item number 9, adjournment. Chair moves that we adjourn.
Second.
There's a second. Commissioner Gergano enthusiastically seconds.
That's hard.
All right, let's call the roll on the motion to adjourn.
Ms. Burchett?
Yes.
Mr. Fleming?
Yes.
Mr. Gergano?
Yeah.
Secretary Hargett? Ms. Merrick?
Yes.
Senator Lillard?
Yes, the motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you for your service to the state of Tennessee and to the Board of Equalization.